Right, hi everyone. Just going to try and pull the live up on the iPad so that I can view all the comments. Oh, it's not showing up just yet. Right, there we go. Right, hello. I might just actually have to, I'll deal with that in a minute. I might have to move the camera a little bit closer because I seem to have set it up so far away towards the back of my desk again. So, yeah, we'll might have to readjust that in just a moment. I'll wait for a few of you to join me. I will start by apologising. It's actually raining at the moment, so things do get a little bit noisy in here when it rains. I absolutely love listening to it. For those that haven't seen me before, I craft in the conservatory, which is lovely. It's like full of light, and yeah, it's great. But not so great when it's raining and you're trying to do a live, because everybody can hear it normally. But I do love sitting in here listening to it when it rains. It's really cozy. Right, hi Chris. A gorgeous card. Oh, thank you, Chris. Hi, Annette. We'll just wait for a few more of you to join because I have got a bit of an announcement to make about some of the stamps. So yeah, I'll wait for a few more. Oh, hi, Sue. I think I saw you've been playing with your gel plates this morning. Is it this morning? I can't remember. I haven't commented on it yet, but looks exciting. They're actually great fun to play with. So yeah, do share what you've been doing a little bit later, won't you, when you've finished your project. So yeah, this is the card I'm going to be making today. I'm going to be using a selection of things to make this. I'm going to be using alcohol inks and pencils today to colour in. So yeah, and yeah, quite a few different stamps that are all available on the website, and I said I will get to that in just a moment. I like the sound of the rain. It's not distracting at all. Oh, that's good. At least it's not raining like it was the other day. Honestly, for those that follow me on some of my other pages, I put a video up of what it was like in here. And honestly, I don't think I've been in here when it's rained that hard before. You literally couldn't hear anything on the iPad or anything. So I usually have like something on the iPad while I'm crafting in the background. Yeah, I just couldn't hear it. It was so loud. Thankfully, it's not like that today. But yeah, I do love the sound of it. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Lucy, watching from the hospital. Yeah, I hope you get on okay. Loving the gel plates. After I've watched you, it's playtime for the rest of the day. I insist. Or well, have fun playing. I think the minis are quite a lot of fun. I haven't really used them much, but again, like I said in the last video, I think the more you use them, the easier they become to use. That's what I've heard. I think the ink and everything seems to take to them, and the paint seems to take to them a little bit better once they've been well used. I don't know what the logic is there, but that's just what I've been told by other people. Right, so I will make a bit of an announcement now, and I will repeat this at the end. So as you all know, this all the products on the Crafty Individual website are currently half price. So when you get to the checkout, just pop in half price. There's a little a box that says enter voucher code or something. So yeah, just pop in half price and you'll get all the products at half price. But just before I went live, I had a message from Jean. It was quite a shocking message. It certainly surprised me. So the stamps that I'm using today, I don't think this one is included. So, but certainly these stamps, I think I've got that right. Yeah. So these ones here. So I've got CI 124, CI 451, CI 395 and CI 601. So Jean has reduced the price of all of these stamps, but on top of that reduction you also get the half price discount, which is absolutely insane. Now I had to go on just before the live and have a sneaky look just to see how much they were, and yeah, I'm shocked. So this one here is currently up at $4.20 and you get the half price on that, so you're essentially getting it for £2.10. It's insane, such an insane price. Yeah, this one here, the flowers is $6.20. Again, you'll get that at half price. The borders that I've got here are $6.20 again, and there's half price on that. And these little stamp marks are $4.20, and again half price on that. It's shocking, such an amazing discount. I don't know how she's managed to pull it all off at such a cheap price. Not only that, with every order you also get a little Crafty gift and a pack of A4 papers. So you'd all better get ordering, because you don't want to miss out on such a bargain. You know, essentially you could probably get about, what, 3 stamps for the price you're paying for one. So, you know, it's well worth grabbing a bargain. I'm not sure how long this will be on at the reduced price for. Jean might be able to clarify that if she comes on a little bit later. But yeah, while it is cheap, go grab them, because yeah, it won't be that price forever, and obviously you won't be able to get them for too much longer. Wow, go for them if you haven't got them. How kind you. I know, I was absolutely gobsmacked when she told me how much, you know, that she'd reduced them, and you know, you still get the half price discount. Not many places do 2 deals like that in conjunction with each other. So yeah, absolute bargain. Go grab some. Right, I will get started. I'm just going to have a sip of drink before I start. So as I said, I am going to be doing this card here. I've got a 6x6 blank. Such an amazing offer from Gina Mount. It really is. I mean, how can you really say no to a deal like that? Like I said, you can actually get about 3 stamps for what you'd be paying for one. Yeah, it's just insane. You might even be able to get the 4 stamps. I don't know. I'm not sure how much they were. I didn't make a note of how much they were beforehand. So yeah, great price. Go grab them. Right, so I'm going to start with the gorgeous bird here, which is 601. I have already said it, but I'm going to say it again as I'm using them. And I'm just going to stamp him up. Now, I'm working... Where's that piece gone? Normally when I do pieces like this, I always tend to work from the left-hand side and over. Yeah, I think because of the way the bird sits, I decided that it needs to go on the right-hand side, because it just sort of flows a little bit better, I think, across the page. So yeah, right, let's get stamping. Just ordered 2 of those about an hour ago. Oh dear, that's a shame. Afternoon, Sandra. Subtotal 420. Oh, I think Caroline's just put an order subtotal up. You do get the discount on that as well, don't forget. So although they're $4.20, if you type in the code half price at the checkout, you'll get them at the reduced price as well. So it won't come up right at the end. It should deduct down. I believe that's right. It should deduct down to about £2.10, you know, half the price of those that's listed up. Right, so I'm just inking the bird up with VersaFine Claire. That discount doesn't work. Oh, okay. Right, in which case then I will message Jean. I don't think she's joined us just yet. So as soon as we see Jean pop on, I'll let her know and see if well, can't get my words out, see if she can sort that out. Thank you for checking, Caroline, and let me know. Right, so I'm just going to stamp that about there, I think, and I'm going to use my little Baron tool. I love this tool. I just don't know where I'd be without this. It's so handy. Discount code is valid but not applicable with the items in your basket. Right, okay, I will let Jean know as soon as I'm done if she doesn't join us. Right, so there we go, we have that stamped. I'm just going to clean that up. Oh, where's my spray bottle? Already started losing things, look, and I've barely started the live. Right, let's pop that over there. And my paper. I was prepared and got some paper out today. Normally I end up leaving that till the last minute. So I'm using the Wow Ultra Fine Embossing Powder. Let's get rid of that. And I'm now just going to melt that with the heat gun. I love my Baron tool too, and still think of Leslie when I use it. So do I, Chris. I can't forget. I mean, I didn't know her as well as Jean, obviously, but I was lucky enough to meet her when we went to the studios. The what was it on? Create and Craft Studio. And yeah, she was lovely, and yeah, I always think of her whenever I use it. Hi Trisha. Right, I'm now going to grab my masking fluid. So I'm using the Cosmic Shimmer masking fluid. Hi Mum. Hi Iona. Oh, hi Jean. Right, I think you might have just missed. The Caroline has just tried to put the stamps in her basket and the discount code isn't coming up on those reduced stamps. So that might need looking into. I'm sure I've got it right that you said that the discount still applies to them. I'm just going to move the camera down a little bit. So I've got it so far over the back that I'm going to be stretching over, and that's not going to do my back any good. Right, so I'm just going to use the masking fluid here. And I'm using my sort of larger, well, it's the smaller one out the set. I think these brushes are designed purely for the masking fluid. It's sort of a synthetic brush on this. I'll save the smaller pieces for the smaller brush. So I do love masking fluid. It just means that you can create, you know, you can do direct stamping and create backgrounds and things behind. It's a must in your collection, I think. I'm I'm not going to go into all the points and everything with this brush because it's sprayed out quite a lot, so I'll go in with a fine brush in just a moment. I'm just making sure that it's all covered. It should certainly apply. I'll have to tweak it. Oh dear, I've pushed something and everything's disappeared. No, I'm not going to be able to read the rest of that comment. So it looks like Jean's going to look into that. I can't click on the rest of it's coming up sort of see more. But yeah, I can't seem to click on it. Silly me, I have some masking fluid but never thought to use it with my stamps. I've been cutting out silhouettes. Again, I don't think I can read. Oh, it's letting me read yours to stick over the stamped image. Yeah, I think masking fluid is just, I use it all the time. You know, it is just a must. Unfortunately, I don't think Cosmic Shimmer will be going for much longer. I'm not sure. I think, because aren't they part of can't even think of what company that is now that's closing down. But yeah, so I don't know if this will be going, but PBO do one, and I've usually used that one. I did find that this one was slightly better. This brush is very sprayed out again. I'm just trying to see if I can like pull the bristles in. Love the sound of that rain. I know, it's so lovely. I was saying right at the beginning of the live, I just had to pre-warn everyone because I don't know how noisy it is in the background. But yeah, I love listening to it. Creative expression, that's it. Yeah, so I don't know if you'll still be able to get this in the future, but as I said, PBO do one, which is, you know, it works just as well. I think with the PBO one, you have to make sure that you don't apply it quite as thick as I've done here, because it can tear the card. So just a nice thin coat with the PBO one. Right, now I'm going to apply the, actually I'm just going to dry that off, just to make sure that, you know, once I add the water, it's not going to mix with the water and mess it all up. I don't really want ink on that image if I can help it. Right, all the paint manufacturers make masking fluid. Oh, do they? I didn't know that. Winsor and Newton. I had no clue. I've only ever seen the PBO one, I suppose, because that's the one that I've sort of first discovered. Well, I think it was actually Mum that drew me to that. So that's the one that I've usually used. Right, so for this I'm going to use a piece of scrunched up cellophane. I'm sorry if this sounds a bit noisy. And yeah, but I wanted a bit of control over where this goes, because I said I want it kind of running in this sort of direction here. And rather than smooshing it on the messy mat, you know, if you're applying it with cellophane, you can kind of see where it's going a little bit. I know some people do actually use what's it called, acetate, but yeah, I'm using cellophane. So I'm just going to dab some ink. This is Faded Jeans Oxide. The rain has stopped here in Suffolk and the sun is trying to come through. Oh, hopefully that means we get it soon, because we're in Norfolk, so it's not terribly far from Suffolk, I don't think, is it? Right, sorry, lots of noise here. So I'm just scrunching the cellophane up just to sort of pinch it. I'm not sure, I think this was a packet from a set of stamps that I've just ordered. So yeah, I'm just going to go in, dab it on there, and literally dab it over my stamp design. So I think I'll maybe leave it at that at the moment, and I'm just going to dry that off. I bought mine to use with watercolour paints, but they are now dual purpose, thank you. Yeah, I said I couldn't craft without the masking fluid. I'm just going to dry that off. I don't know if I've got any kitchen roll to dab off that excess. Just use my finger to dab off some of that excess. I'm just lifting it up again because the air sort of flows better, I think, and it dries a little bit quicker when you hold it off your mat. I won't be sad to close our particular website as it's always causing problems with discounts and such like. Oh dear. We'll miss your little website, Jean. I don't think I'm the only one that, you know, I think all of us are going to miss it very much. But yeah, I get what you mean. I think, again, it's part of that technology, and it is such a pain, isn't it? Right. Just going to dry this bit off here. I'm sorry, because I've had pools of ink, it's sort of taken a little bit longer. Should really have pulled the kitchen towel out, shouldn't I? Kitchen roll. Technology has a mind of its own, it certainly does. Right, so I'm just cleaning the ink off of my cellophane, and I'm actually going to go in with some speckled egg now. I'm not going to add as much speckled egg as I did the other. Dropping everything. A bit of a clumsy one today. It's lovely already. Oh, thank you. We will all miss the CI website. Yes, we certainly will. So I'm just dabbing a few more. So I think maybe I'll leave it at that. Obviously you can't see too much of it sort of here, but it is there. I don't think the camera will pick it up. Right, I'll just clean my mat, and now I'm just going to dry this off. My bag manager can't wait. Yeah, it's easy to get carried away, isn't it, on crafting websites? You just think, oh, I really want that. I'll add that to the basket, and then suddenly another 4 more things fall into the shopping basket. So easily done. Right, I am going to grab out some kitchen roll because that is going to take me forever to dry that off. Right, let's just go in again. Now I want this really dry because I am going to be going over it and stamping. You know, I want it dry enough that I can stamp over it. Especially when they are great prices. Well, absolutely. I will talk about the price of the stamps again at the end. And hopefully Jean manages to sort out the discount code thing on the stamps. Right, hopefully that's dry enough now. Right, I'm just pulling out my card. I can remember what I've done, how I've done it. Right, so I'm going to grab the borders. So CI 451. And I'm going to be using this negative strip just here. Now I'm not going to be using the whole stamp. I'm hoping it doesn't play up for me today, because yesterday it wasn't sticking very well on the back. Just going to push it down and hope it does. Touches of speckled egg. Love the touches of speckled egg with the blue. Oh, thank you. Right, now, I don't want to stamp the butterflies and the daffodil on this. I should have checked to see what way up it goes. Where's the thing? There it is. So yeah, I have got it the right way up. So what I'm going to try and do is just ink around it. And again up here, just ink around it. If you're not happy with, if you're worried about getting ink on these, what you could do is just pop some masking tape over it while you ink it up. And then peel it off before you stamp it. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go in with the ink pad very carefully and kind of stamp around it. I think I have actually got a bit too carried away there, and I did just go over that can't think, daffodil. So I'm just going to try and smudge the ink off, and again just go round. And I'll do a bit more on this side. And I'm going to go the other side of the butterfly and just ink up that little bit there. I think that's about right. Right. So I'm now, hopefully it doesn't fall off. It's trying to, look. I'm now just going to stamp it about there. Speckled egg is my fave distress colour. It is, and it goes with so many colours. Yeah, it's a great colour. Definitely have to have that one in your stash. I'm not so keen on the speckled egg distress ink though. I think the distress ink doesn't show up quite so well as the oxide. I find myself, if I'm using distress inks and want that speckled egg colour, I tend to use the oxide. Right, there we go. So what I'm going to do is just wipe the ink off the bird. Probably should do this at the end, but this will, you know, when you come to remove your what's it called, masking fluid, you don't really want to be smudging that onto your card. So definitely remove anything. If ever you stamp over it, I like to go over and just remove some of that off. Right, I'm just going to clean that stamp up and pop that away. Already got inky fingers, look. I'm a bit of a messy crafter. Right, I'm now going to grab the little postage mark. Let's go with that. So I'm going to use the London one just because, well, of course I used to live in London, so it sort of had to be that stamp, didn't it? Let's just make sure I've got this the right way. And I'm just going to stamp this. I could do with going up there. No, I'm going to go for about there. I think on the other one I didn't go up as high on this side, so it's this one, it sort of goes through it, but that's fine. Now I'm not going to emboss any of these. I'm just literally stamping them. Right, now I'm going to use a few of these stamps. So I'm going with the one with the little tiny flowers on it. It should be there. Let's grab my other block. And where do I want them? So I'm not going to ink all of the stamp up. So I'm not going to ink the stem on this. just because it might come down lower than I want it to on the page. So I'm literally just going to ink the top section of the you know, where all the flowers are, and I'm gonna just, I think maybe about there. And about there, I think. Let's get rid of that. Now I'm going to grab this lovely, which one do I want? No, not that one. I'm going to use this one. So there's two of these twigs in here. One of them has got like a solid line. I guess you could actually stamp that in green, but I'm not going to. I'm going to use this one that's a bit more sort of sketchy, just because I think I did use the pencils on that and I quite liked how that turned out. So so I'm just again going to randomly go in and just add a few sprigs. Again, I'm being careful where I ink up. I've actually gone too far again, so I'm not being that careful. I'll just take some of that ink off because it will definitely show through. So I'm just going to randomly stamp some of these sprigs. And again down here. And again, because I want this to come sort of round a little bit more, one of the pieces I'm going to extend quite a bit. Oh dear, excuse me. And then bring it back in. And I think maybe I'll leave that like that. Build a Meadow, I use it all the time. I love it. Yeah, it's a great stamp set. And again, it's at such a bargain price that you just have to have it. How can you say no at that price? Right, I'm now going to add very quickly, it wasn't on the list. Now, I don't think these ones are at the cheaper rate, but I am going to be using them. So this is the Heavy Crackle, so CI213. Now, this one I don't have mounted. I'm literally just going to go in and stamp just around the bird a little. I'm not going to go too mad. I just want a little bit of, and I think down here, just want to create a little bit of texture. As you can see, I haven't sort of mounted that. I've just kind of gone in, and I've also done a bit of secondary stamping up the top there. Hi Marjorie, well, not to worry for being late. Right, where did that packet go? Oh, it's right there. Right, and then the script. Now there's a couple of scripts still on the website. This is one of them. So this is CI214. There's another script on the website which is lovely. I don't actually have it. It's 017. It's one of the earlier stamps. So this one is mounted, but I'm not going to pop it on a block. This has actually got a little postal stamp on it, and I don't really want that on this. So I'm just going to use parts of this lower section of the stamp. Again, I'm not going to mount it. I'm just going to go straight in. Crackle stamp. Yeah, all the stamps that I'm using are definitely, at the moment, they're in stock. There's just one set that I was going to use that isn't in stock, but I'll get to that one shortly. So I'm just literally randomly stamping. Now we've put a line going across here. It kind of coincides with where the bulk script sits, and it also helps that if you are stamping it on a block and you want it nice and straight, you know, you've got them lines as a guide because they kind of follow on from the lines on here. So I'm only using a little bit of script up here. There we go. So again, I've just used the faded jeans. Yeah, faded jeans oxide ink for that one. Right, now these ones are the ones that are out of stock, I'm afraid. But some of you will already have these in your collection. I think that, you know, they're kind of a great set to have. I've cut mine to bits, and I tend to just use sort of random random birds. Goodness me, got a bit of a tickle. Let me just have a sip of drink. Sorry about that. Right, so I'm just going to, this one's going to play up, I think. Let's just give that a little bit of a wet. It's going to really play up, isn't it, this one? I'm not going to use that because I'll end up ruining something. Let's go with this one down here. Oh, they're very samey, them ones. Doesn't matter, I'll go with these ones. So I'm just selecting a couple of random birds, and I'm just going to stamp them around the design. The lines, yes, I thought that. What's that? The lines on the back of the stamp. I usually do that on all things kind of wordy. They're just, yeah, it just makes it a bit easier trying to figure out, you know, lining it up and stuff. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm stamping these in the right kind of, that they're the right way up. So I'm stamping 3 birds here because things always look better in odd numbers. Don't know why that, where the logic is there. Right, I might just stamp this on a bit of paper just to make sure that I'm stamping it the right way. So, right, so it needs to go that way. And I think we'll go about there. Let's pop all them birds away. Right, now I'm just going to go over where I've stamped over all the masking fluid. I'm going to use, you could use a piece of kitchen roll just to sort of dab it off. Just because I said I don't really want to sort of smudge all that ink over the image as I'm pulling it off. Hopefully that's got it a bit there. Hopefully that's about got it all. So I'm just going to carefully use my finger. No, I've missed a bit up there, I can see it. So yeah, I'm just going to use my finger and carefully rub that off. I have somewhere on my desk got a, you know, them like glue erasers. They're very handy for pulling this off. So just carefully pulling it. I'm sort of pulling it at a real angle here. And very carefully, just so it doesn't rip. Definitely don't get too carried away and just pull it, because it could obviously tear your card, and that's the last thing you want when you've worked so hard on the background. So yeah, if I hadn't removed some of that ink, because I was rubbing my finger over it, it would have smudged some of that. Glue eraser. Have you not seen them before? I have used them before on my videos. I don't know if I can find it. Honestly, there's so much stuff on my desk, it is unreal. Ah, look, just spotted it. So you'll have to excuse mine, it's a bit grubby. I think they call them glue erasers. Is that what they're called? Mum might be able to answer, or somebody else might be able to. I'm sure they're called a glue eraser. But they're actually for, you know, like if you're using sort of glue dots and things like that, or if you get a little tiny bit of glue, like spillage when you're sticking stuff down, you can just use that to very carefully sort of remove the glue. Really worth having. But yeah, I'm sure that's what they're called. If Mum or something can't answer that, then I will look them up a little bit later and confirm. Right, I'm just going to grab my pens out now. I'm all organised. I've got all the colours out that I actually need. Right, so I'm going to start by colouring in the apple. And I'm just going with a sandstone and satin pro marker here. I like to use sort of 2 tones, if not 3. I'm going to go around all the edge. Now it's funny, whenever I use this stamp, all I see is a smiley little face in the apple. I think it's so cute, and now I've seen it, I can't unsee it. It's one of them things. Will it remove the sticky backing from tape? What do you mean, like the so if you're using a roll of tape, do you mean like the plasticky stuff that sort of that stuck to it? I don't think it would remove that, no, because it's more designed to remove sort of sticky things. I mean, it does get quite grubby and everything, you can see, because it sort of sticks, the glue does sort of stick to it, but you can cut them areas away. I use the double-sided tape. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought so. Not for the backing of the tape, no. It is mainly to get rid of, like, if you said have excess glue and stuff over the edge, just to grab that off. Yes, it's called a glue eraser. They always look grubby. Yeah. And the bits get stuck all over the place. And little bits get, yeah. Well, if it's little bits of tape and stuff, because usually you used to be able to buy them with little glue dots. I mean, I haven't used the glue dots for so many years, so I don't know if you can still buy them like that. I can't answer that. But yeah, they will get off anything sort of sticky. But I'm guessing if it's sort of tape, if you've got excess tape, I don't know how that would work, because it would possibly, you know, it wants to pull it all off. So if it's sort of attached for underneath your card, it's going to want to pull that off, I'm guessing. I'm not sure. Right, I'm just using, what am I using here? Burnt sienna on the log. And I think I'll use some sandstone again. I'm not too worried about colouring, you know, blending the colours too much on the log. Just because often they are all different colours, aren't they? You know, the bark and everything is all different colours. Right, we'll go the leaves. I think we'll go, so I used forest green. And I sort of colour in some of the veins on here. And then I'm using an olive green. I know they're completely bizarre colours to kind of mix together. But when I do leaves and things, I tend to like go in more mutey colours than really bright. I'll experiment with a glue razor and let you know. a smiley face. I can see it now. Yeah, unfortunately, Chris, as I said, it's one of them things that once you see it, you can't unsee it. So every time I pull it out, or every time I see this image, I just see a nice little smiley face. I don't know if it was designed like that. The lovely Dora designed this image. So yeah, I don't know if she drew it like that with a smiley face intended. I've no idea. So I'm using, what is this, khaki green now. Right, and for the apple, I'm using that forest green again and the leaf green. Now again, I'm not going to be too worried about blending here because I am going to go in with my colouring pencils. So I'm just using a darker tone first. I love olive green for leaves. Yeah, it's one of my go-to for leaves. As I said, I'm not somebody that likes to see really bright leaves on a card. Sometimes you need it, and sometimes you need to do, oh, I can't think, like, you know, different tones of leaves. If you've got like different bushes and things, you need to have sort of that more sort of olive green and then a nice bright green as a contrast in. I said, I'm not worried about these marks that aren't blended too much. I'm actually purposely not doing it. I just want a base colour down because in a minute I am going to use use the pencils. I missed a leaf there. Right, let's colour this bird in now. I've no idea what bird this is, so I might be colouring it completely the wrong colours. I'm not good with birds at all. Now and again I keep getting birds come into the garden and I'm straight on the phone to Mum, usually with a picture of it, going, what's this? I done it yesterday actually, but unfortunately I didn't manage to get a picture of the bird. I had a new bird come into the garden. It was quite pretty. It was about the size of a blackbird, and it was like a brownish colour, but it had a really long beak. It wasn't a blackbird, so I know the female blackbirds are, I'm just trying to find the colour I want. So I've got, no, not sandstone, that's the one, tan. So I know female blackbirds are brown. This wasn't that. It's running out, that pen. Yeah, it had, its beak was quite incredible. It was so long. I say goodness knows what it was. I said I was straight on the phone to Mum trying to describe it, going, what could this be? So I think it's quite exciting when you get new birds in the garden. I get quite a lot of birds here, and it's so nice watching them all flitter past. Right, I'm going to go for a grey, add some greys in there, and I'm going for the warm grey tones. So I'm going to colour the beak in warm grey 5, this one, and his little legs. And I'm just going to add some just sort of random warm grey tones to sort of darken some areas up. I don't know if you can actually hear, I've got a pigeon out in the garden now. I think it's asking to be fed. That's what they tend to do. When I haven't fed them, they sit on the garage roof and they sit there cooing, asking for me to go out and feed them. Hi Jill, not to worry. Do you live by the coast? Yes, we've recently moved. Well, we moved, I say recently, it feels, well, it doesn't, it feels like I've been here ages now. So we moved to Norfolk, and yeah, we're literally about I don't know, a 10-minute drive away from the beach. Not far at all. And we're we've got so many nice beaches here. It's lovely. Right, so I'm just grabbing my pencils here. And what colours do I want? I'm using, because I tend to always use my really good pencils, and actually I don't want that. I'm just going to pop something solid behind, because I'm actually working on a rubberized mat here. So I've been doing a lot of painting and stuff, really messy stuff lately. So I put that down to protect my other mat. And obviously because it's rubber, you end up with the pencil. I think I done it yesterday and look, nearly had the pencils going through the card. So I don't particularly want that. I'm just looking for a red. So I said I'm using my Spectrum Noir pencils for a change. I'm saving my other ones for sort of proper, more intricate colouring. So I'm just going to use some different colour tones on the apple. We've got baby robins. Oh, how lovely. One is about only an inch big. Oh my goodness, that is so cute. Oh, how lovely. Well, we've got one robin in the garden that usually comes. I'm rather excited because I have doves, ringneck doves come in the garden. We have them every day. And usually have them with a white pigeon, which I think is quite unusual. So I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but I'm just dragging some sort of texture lines. Am I saying that right? Across the apple. Because I think when you do get an apple, they have got, like, some of them do, not all of them. So I'm just going in with a couple of different green tones. Now the rain has stopped, the birds have come down to be fed, bless them. I know, it's so sweet, isn't it? I should have gone out and fed them this morning, but I always forget. So I'm just going in with a red now and bringing in some red lines. Right. And in there, and I'm going to colour these little flowers in red here as well, just to sort of bring in another colour. I think one more peeking out from behind the log there. Right, now I'm also going to use the green, and I'm just going to run the green pencil along the sprigs and sort of go over the little leaves on the sprigs. Now I'm going over the lines here. I'll just hold it up. I don't know if you can see that. I am going over the lines. I'm not too worried about that. I sort of want that quite sort of rough look. So you can see I'm really not being sort of precious about going over the lines. I am being really rough. And I think I've got them all. Right, now what I'm going to do is I just added a few extra, oh, I think I coloured them in green, didn't I? Just went over the lines on these. Obviously, if you used embossing powder on these, you could go over with your alcohol markers. I didn't do that, so I'm sticking to pencils. Now what I'm going to do is just draw in a few like little swirly lines. You know, they haven't got to be perfect, just to sort of fill in a few gaps. I will hold this up because I don't know if you can sort of see what I'm doing. Oh, I missed a sprig there. I'll bring in a line down here. And then finally, I actually done, because I found some, well, I think the one that I did yesterday was actually a lot darker, and the image kind of got lost. But I did grab one of my pencils. Which one would it have been? I think it might have been this one actually. And I've done my usual going around the edge. I like to do this on some cards. It does take a little bit of time to do, but I think it really makes the image pop. So sometimes I use black. If I can get away with using blue, I will, just because, yeah, I think it's quite nice adding a sort of bluey tone to it. Now I'm starting sort of darker around the edge and kind of fading it out into the centre. Again, I'm not being too, I'm being quite rough as I'm doing it. So I just think it really helps to sort of make that image pop off the page. Now I'm kind of going over the flowers here. If you want to go around them, you know, by all means do. But I think that will take quite a while to do. So I am going to go around the leaves though, just because they are obviously part of that main image. As I said, I'm being quite rough here. I think I'm just trying to speed it up a little bit as well, because I am aware I have kept you for quite a while. Right, last little bit. Now what I usually do is grab my little paper blendy thing. That will probably keep you for a little bit longer. I'll show you what I mean though, really quick. I won't do it all. I think that's over in my other case. Just grabbing it out. So I have these little blending, I'm not actually sure what they're called. I got mine with the pencils, but you can kind of blend the edge just so that you haven't got quite such a solid edge around it. I'm not going to do that all during the live because I don't really want to bore you too much. But yeah, so you can use that all the way around. What pencils are those? So these are the Spectrum Noir ones. My go-to ones are the Castle Arts, which are this set here. But I keep using these just to go around the edges on things and just for basic colouring, and I want to save them for sort of, you know, when I do a whole colouring project. I'm a bit precious over this set. It was, you know, they're quite expensive. Not as expensive as the Prismacolor ones though. These ones that I used today on this project were the Spectrum Noir pencils. Yeah, I have the whole set of them. I mean, they're great pencils, but I suppose I'm not quite as precious on these ones as my Castle Art ones. Right, I'm just trying to read some of the comments. How lovely. Your colouring on the apple is amazing. Thank you. Lovely colouring. Paper stumps, that's it. Blending stumps or tortillons. Okay, I don't know if I said that right. Burnishes as well. Yeah, I mean, these are Spectrum Noir ones. I think, I don't know, they come in a pack of something. I've got some smaller ones too. I don't like the smaller ones. I tend to just stick to the big ones because the smaller ones kind of bend all over the place. I've been looking at Castle Art pencils. Sandra, I love them. Yeah, I think they're quite nice and creamy pencils. Yeah, I much prefer them over the Spectrum Noir ones. And I didn't stop there. I was a bit naughty, and I also bought the metallic ones. They're really nice. So both sets, just because I've got, oh, what are they? The premium ones, I think. Castle Arts. Are they the premium? I can't think what they are. Gold. The Castle Art Gold set are the ones that I've got. They work quite well on black card, which I really liked. And the metallic ones work lovely on black. So if you're thinking about them as well, you know, I'd recommend them. I think they're lovely. I'd done a card some time ago with using one of the birds on black card, and yeah, it was lovely. Oh, I must remember to put them away. Good pencils blend better and easier. They certainly do. Yeah, I said I tend to keep. I'm going to try and keep my Spectrum Noirs for doing sort of more stuff like this and not real blendy stuff. The Castle Art ones are lovely for blending. Right, I'm just going to go back and talk about the stamps. Now, at the moment, there is a bit of a problem with the code and everything, but Jean has reduced the main 4 stamps that I used, which was these ones and what was the other one? Oh, I can't remember. Oh, I'll tell you what I didn't do. I didn't stick the sentiment. I did actually use the little sentiment. This little birdie told me it's your birthday. I will just very quickly stick that down. Yeah, so them 4 stamps and the borders, that was the other one, wasn't it? So Jean has reduced them at such a silly price, and I said there is a bit of a problem at the moment with the code, but she has, if you do the code at the checkout using half price, hopefully Jean will sort it so that you can do that. They will be reduced to an even cheaper price. And also with every order, with every order you make, you also get a free Crafty gift and a pack of A4 papers. So definite must. Right, I'm going to grab my pen actually. Now I've stuck that down. So this was the sentiment. And again, I think it was still online when I checked last night. I'm sure it was still online. CI 605. I'm just going to add a little line. I tend to do like a line round it just to sort of make it pop. Again, you could go around it with the with your pencils, just to sort of make it pop off the page a little bit more. Right, so I've just done sort of 2 lines there around the around the sentiment, and then I can stick that on a 6x6 card blank. Right, I'd better stop there because I think I've kept you all for long enough. I have got a card blank, but yes, thank you all for joining me. I don't know what's happening next week. I'll have to have a chat with Jean. I'm hoping to record another video using some CI products, which will probably go up on my YouTube account, and I will post a link to that at some point. But yeah, oh, it's showing out of stock. Sorry, I snuck another one on that's out of stock. I'm sure some of you have still got that anyway, so I've ordered a couple of sets and used big save code. Yeah, it's actually the half price code, so when you check out just use half price, and yeah, it's a bargain. I mean, you can essentially get 2 stamps for the price of 1, can't you, in that deal? So yeah, bargain. Go grab some bargains quickly while they're still on the website. But yeah, anyway, thank you all for joining me, and enjoy the rest of your week. Take care, everyone. Bye.